But on a more positive note, a ceasefire in the city's gang warfare still seems to be on. Ron Allen reports.
Since the truce among thousands of warring Crips and Bloods gang members declared as Los Angeles smoldered, most police have remained suspicious and openly skeptical that the daily gang killings would stop. But today, the deputy chief responsible for the city's most gang-infested neighborhood said he believes the truce is not only real, but holding.
A bunch of Crips and Bloods decided to come together. And they said, you know what? We're tired of this, man. At that point, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it was 91 or 92, LA had upwards of 2,500 bodies. 2,500 people had lost their lives in Los Angeles at that time. And guess who it was? It wasn't a lot of Asians. It wasn't a lot of white folk. The majority of it was black.
Drive-by shootings, there are fewer of them than there has been in the past, and there are fewer homicides that are gang-related. There is reason to be optimistic. However, that doesn't mean that we believe that everything is going to be 100%.
In 92, the streets, the OGs, they were like, yo, this is getting out of hand. This is a perfect opportunity to reel this thing in and make something positive out of it.
Gathered for a picnic celebrating their post-riot truce. In the past, the mere sight of a rival gang's colors, red for Bloods, blue for Crips, could trigger deadly violence. Police say there are more than 100,000 gang members in Los Angeles County.
Yeah, my name is Anthony. How's everybody out there in the world? Yeah, we just, we really on a positive tip now, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing wrong for so long, it's time to do right, And we just want everybody out there to know, you know what I'm saying? Just come down, give us your support, all the brothers and sisters out there, just come down, like Sunday. Come to the park, you know what I'm saying, on 51st and Avalon, and check us out for yourself. You can see everything you want to see, you know what I'm saying? And if this, if this gonna really go somewhere, we need support from not just, a black way. We need support from all races. You know what I'm saying? Right. We want to do something. And then just give us a chance. That's all. We just want a chance. That's all.
Unfortunately, it was short-lived, but it happened. Against all odds, it happened. Against all the negative reaction it got on the news, it happened. Such a beautiful thing.
Hello world, everybody, the homies out there, even the homies we got incarcerated that's looking from the inside out here. This is what's happening out here, man. We're not joking, we're not jiving. Y'all know that coming straight from the heart. Look who's standing here. Look what's been going on out here. I was like the opening saying, we as the Bloods and the Crips have joined together without any problems. From the police, the media, and the Bloods as Crips as one. We'll be able to give back to the parks, recreation, and the rest of the community can live without, so that the community can live without fear. We would like to go to speak to schools, parks, to the whole community, businesses, and everybody to let them know, let our younger generation know that we're coming together to lead those who would have been going astray, and we're going to lead them now to the right direction. We want to have peace in the black community, not only in gangs, but the whole community. We would clean up the trash and the graffiti in the community. We prove to the media, the police, and everyone else that we are not an outcast and we are not out to do no wrong. Right.
We need more education, more career training, so that we can get more blacks jobs to make a living without dealing drugs and stealing.
But the cops didn't want it to happen. The courts didn't want it to happen. The prisons definitely didn't want it to happen. Why is that? Well, if we're not out there taking each other's lives, that means they're out of a job. Uh-oh, we got to cut the police force. They're not out there gangbanging anymore. That's what would have happened. People at the courts would have lost their jobs because, damn, man, crime is down. So they didn't want any of that to happen. And let's keep it real. Like, that's about as real as it gets. Job security. They knew if the red and blue stopped going back and forth, then they might be out of a job. So by many accounts, things were done behind the scenes to make sure this thing didn't last. And unfortunately, it didn't last. Shame. It's a damn shame, because it's a beautiful thing.
Number one, I have come here in acknowledgement that you're probably looking at some of the most organized and influential leaders of our community.
Yes.
They have proven that. Every one of you, even you in the media, without their assurance that you'd be all right here today, a lot of you wouldn't have been here. But they are some of the most organized, and they have our young people, they have our community, and we have to acknowledge that. Number two, I have come to say that I believe in them. And they have my support. And my support means something. And it means something in this community. It means something to our churches and our political community.
Wars in Los Angeles claim hundreds of lives every year. Many of the victims are innocent bystanders. But as Ron Allen reports, the Rodney King verdict may change things.
There's talk of a truce in a war some thought might never end. LA's warring gangs, Bloods and Crips, some 100,000 strong, may turn their anger about the Rodney King verdict into peace.
Because if it don't happen now, it ain't gonna never happen.
The message rose through the smoke and flames, gang graffiti never seen before, a plea, a call for unity.
The riots helped because we realized that we now have a common enemy. For those brothers and sisters that were into it, right, that were into the gang conflicts and couldn't see a common enemy, now do.
Little Monster, a Crip leader, says he was there when the corner of Florence and Normandy erupted, a riot that he says also ignited a movement.
So you come together, and what do you do? I mean, what's it about? What's the goal? What's the mission?
Empowering our community. That's what it's all about.
Some people think it's about violence.
No, it's not about violence.
There's been a lot of talk about trying to get some cops.
You know what? Whenever black folks get together, it's always something violent.
Hundreds of young people die each year. So is this the start of a street-level movement of well-armed, well-organized gang members, or just a fragile peace rooted in rage?
The King verdict laid down a revolution in the streets. Okay, the revolution is not over. The revolution won't be over until we get a reformation of the American government. Break it up, break it down, and do it right.
It's a possibility no one can ignore.